If you live in New York City or LA, you're not impressed when someone from your hometown makes it to the big time. But if you're from a small town far away from the entertainment hubs of the world, it's a big deal. I was in 8th grade when Faye Dunaway, who was from Tallahassee, graduated from Leon High School, received an Oscar nomination for her role as Bonnie in the movie Bonnie and Clyde. It was a long, long time ago. But I remember it was the talk of the town. And I was super blown away recently when I found out that James Adam Shelley is a member of the rock band American Authors. James Adam is the son of Lou and Linda Shelley, friends of mine who are very active at Faith Presbyterian. James Adam grew up going to youth group at Faith. I served on the board with Lou and some board of UKirk with Lou. UKirk, as you know, is always desperate for money. And someone said, well, could we get American Authors to do a fundraiser for us? Cracked Lou right up, like, not gonna happen. Now, I'm pretty sure maybe half of you have never heard of American Authors or James Adam. They're getting to be well known, but they're not superstars, at least not yet. But if they came to their hometown, it would be big news. And that's where we are with Jesus. He's getting to be well known, but he hasn't walked on water yet or fed 5,000 people free fish sandwiches in one afternoon. We're nowhere near the adoring crowds that will flock to see him ride into Jerusalem on Palm Sunday. So the hometown folks are excited to see him until, yikes, there's this complete reversal, complete turnaround. And they end up filled with rage, basically turning into a lynch mob. A surface level reading of the text just doesn't make sense. You have to look more deeply at the context. It was Jesus preaching that set them off. Yikes. Jesus refers to two events concerning earlier prophets. Elijah, who visited an unnamed non-Jewish widow and miraculously saved her and her son from starvation, while Israelites all around were starving due to the drought. And Elisha, who miraculously cured a pagan general of leprosy while many faithful Jews continued to suffer with the disease. See, the hometown crowd was very happy when it seemed Jesus was saying the year of the Lord's favor upon the Jewish people had arrived. When he said he came to bring good news to the poor, released to the captives and oppressed, they thought he meant the poor, the captive, and the oppressed Jews. At that time, all Jews were living under the oppressive regime of Rome, and with a handful of exceptions, they were all poor and they were all oppressed. They have been waiting for the Messiah who is going to bring back the glory days of King David and restore the Jewish people to their rightful place in the world. This hometown crowd is beginning to think that Jesus is going to make their country great again. So they welcomed his words about good news for the poor. They know God is on their side because they are the chosen people. And then Jesus tells this story about two non-Jews who are extraordinarily blessed by God, while foreigners, non-believing people, two examples of God favoring the non-believing foreigners and the pagans, and they're outraged. That isn't how it's supposed to work, they think. God only blesses people who believe in him. You have to be one of the chosen to know God's blessing, preferably chosen from birth, or at least becoming a citizen the legal way. God doesn't care about those other people out there. God only cares about his chosen people. So Jesus' words posed a great threat to their sense of security. If they were not singled out as God's chosen people, they are nobody. When Rabbi Jack Romberg hears someone make a well-intentioned reference to the status of the Jewish people as God's chosen people, he will flash his most charming smile and nod his head and say, "Yes, but chosen for what?" That's the important question. God said, "I will put my law within them, and I will write it on their hearts, and I will be their God, and they will be my people." That is what we are chosen for. Carry God's law in our hearts and show God's love to the world. Do it with love and peace, and not with fear and anger. We are chosen to have the knowledge of God's love, and we are chosen to have the responsibility that goes with that knowledge. What we have in this story about the fawning hometown fans who turn murderous is a message of hope, especially for the downtrodden, the marginalized, the poor, and the foreigners, all of whom live among us. What we do not have here is a message of affirmation for those who think because they are of the Christian faith, they are somehow more beloved by God than those who are not among us. The angry voices we are bombarded with in news outlets and social media are no better and no different from that angry mob. We know that it's not right, all this anger. We hear this is not the people that God calls us to be. We know that, but we are like Jeremiah. We hear God's voice and we say, "What can I do? I'm just one person. I'm just a youth. I'm just an old retired person. I'm a busy parent struggling with too many things on my plate. What can we do?" But God says, "Do not underestimate your abilities or my strength. I chose you to go where I send you and to speak the words I give you. You are chosen to bring the good news to the poor, the oppressed, and the foreigners among you. You can do it. We can do it together. Because we are God's chosen people. God in Jesus Christ is with us always to the end of the age. Amen.